Hello YouTube! Today we're going to talk about my top quilt. So I'm doing a little gear review on my Hammock Gear 20-degree Burrow quilt. First of all, if you don't know what a top quilt is, essentially it's just a sleeping bag. But the difference is that they've taken the bottom part of the insulation out and the top part. Now the reason why they did this is they cut out the weight. You may think that's crazy, you're not going to get warm, there's not insulation all around you. But what happens in a sleeping bag, especially a down sleeping bag, is the insulation on the bottom part of your body gets squished and it does not insulate you very effectively. So they've taken the unnecessary weight of the back and the top part. The top part, you just have a cap or a beanie on to keep your head warm. Now, I was a little nervous when I first got a top quilt because I really liked the head part. I can't remember what it's called. I really liked it, and so at the time I was a hammock camper, and I'm still a hammock camper, but now I ground sleep a little bit more. At the time I was a hammock camper. I made a underquilt, which is the same thing except it's just underneath your hammock basically. I realized it's really hard to make, and I did not want to make an overquilt, so I bought one. So the premium Burrow from Hammock Gear right now, the same specs as this, so 20-degree quilt with an open foot box that can be closed, standard width and standard length with 1 ounce of overstuff and 850 fill, is $270 on their website. It's 19.88 ounces. Horizontal baffles at the foot box, and then vertical baffles the rest of it. So when I bought this, they were still doing horizontal baffles the whole entire quilt. Mine is 24 ounces, $250. Yeah, that's the main difference of the older version. First of all, it's surprisingly warm. My coldest night was 12 degrees and I was still sleeping warm. I mean, I was chilly of course, but I didn't freeze to death. That's the main thing. It's versatile. I have the foot box that has a drawstring in, so it can be opened or closed. Sometimes I wear it just around the campfire, just kind of a nice little blanket to keep me warm. It's extremely lightweight. It's lighter than most sleeping bags. The material is extremely comfy and soft. Hammock Gear makes their gear with super high quality. I have another product of theirs, and it's just really good quality. What I don't like about it, well, mine has horizontal baffles. I don't like that because the down goes all to the sides and all the top part of my insulation is not there. So it's a little bit heavier than a lot of 20-degree quilts, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it just needs cleaned. Also, when I got this, I was a hammock camper and I did not expect to go ground sleeping, so I did not get a wide version. It is not wide enough for me to be on the ground. This is what it looks like packed up. It's pretty small. It still gets way smaller. This is the bag that it comes with. I don't even use this bag to put in my pack. I just stuff it at the bottom of my backpack. So this is what it looks like. Now, I'm gonna show you some shots of it later. Okay, so this is what I mean when there's an open foot box. So you see, this is the foot end of the top quilt, and this is the open end, right? So what I mean is you can undo this cord and this opens up completely like that. So your foot box has a huge gaping hole, but I find this blocks out almost all of the draft, all of the wind. And also, if you want to completely open this up, they have snaps here. And now it's completely open and it's basically just a blanket. So what I did here to compensate for the short width of the quilt is I put these bungees on here that pulls the sides down so that the sides can stay tucked in. That just keeps the draft from coming in the sides. one way to compensate for the loss of insulation on your bottom is you sleep on a sleeping pad, which you do anyways. They are for comfort, but actually they're more for the warmth because the ground is cold. Sleeping pads can be really warm actually. This is just a foam pad, pretty, not super thick one, but it's thick enough and keeps me warm enough. There's a lot of inflatable pads which have a lot of insulation on the inside of the pad, so it keeps you super insulated from the ground. So would I recommend this hammock gear quilt? I would totally recommend HG Burrow. If you're looking for budget quilts, they have economy line, you should check into them. It's the same design, same build as this, but it just uses a little bit heavier fabric. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd like to see you on the next one.